Ever since the release of Marvel Spider-Man 2 with a playable mission for the symbiote monster Venom, fans have been wondering if we would ever see a standalone game for Venom. However, given that the Venom symbiote was destroyed at the end of the game, this greatly diminished any hope for the game, but there have still been some indications that something may still be in the works and something may still be planned. Let's dive into what could still come from a Venom standalone game. Insomniac Games has been at the helm of the greatly successful Spider-Man PlayStation games, landing them Marvel's trust to develop more titles in the world of Marvel, including a Spider-Man 3 game to be the final chapter in telling their Spider-Man stories. Now, before I go any further, in previous videos I said that I would not share much about the recent Insomniac Games hack, but in this video I will stretch that rule to cover what was found for a potential Venom game called Venom the Lethal Protector. The breach at Insomniac Games revealed a lot of their potential plans for the future with their own Marvel universe that they have created. A part of this timeline is a small Venom game slated for a 2025 release meant to be a bridge between Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. If this sounds familiar, this is pretty much what Spider-Man Miles Morales was meant to be while we waited for Spider-Man 2 to be released. Now, this is not all the game was supposed to be. Per the leaks, Carnage is supposed to be the main villain of the game, taking over New York City with the Crimson Symbiote. Now, this does align with how things were left with the Flame side quest in Spider-Man 2. We know that the Flame had many previous aliases, including Cletus Cassidy, where he ends up hijacking an Oscorp transport and then stealing the Carnage symbiote. This is one of the open-ended storylines for the game where we don't know what the Flame has ultimately planned other than his prophesized Crimson Hour. Maybe him taking over New York City as Carnage is the Crimson Hour, but I feel that would be a little too predictable. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind this being a way that Venom gets to have his own game, since we know that he has beef with Carnage in the comics and other motion projects. If this is still planned by Insomniac Games, then they must also have planned a way that the Venom symbiote survived and also a host for it in mind. Harry Osborn is near death at the end of the game with traces of brain activity, and Norman Osborn teasing some G serum to keep him alive. I have a theory with how it won't be Venom, but instead end up being anti-Venom as the playable character and the way that Harry Osborn survives. If you want to see this in a separate video, please let me know in the comment section down below. Now, we've talked about what was found in the leaks, but now let's dive into if this can even still happen. There are two main reasons that I would argue that the Venom game is still coming. First, Tony Todd, the voice actor of Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2, has indicated that they barely used any of his recorded lines for the final product of the game. Insomniac Games is run by a handful of very intelligent people who supposedly have a plan for the next decade of creating Marvel games. They probably had these extra voice lines recorded so that they can create a future project without the need to bring back Tony Todd to record more, slowing down production and allowing them to move full steam ahead. The second reason is that Insomniac Games hasn't commented much on the matter. Well, this may seem like nothing, but I think this silence is speaking louder. Remember how there was a planned Spider-Man multiplayer game called Spider-Man the Great Web? Fans were ecstatic thinking we would finally get a modern online multiplayer Marvel game. Unfortunately, when journalists pressed Insomniac Games about this and some of their employees, hoping they would confirm that this was still in development, but they instead spelled out its doom as Insomniac Games said that the game was canceled. Now, what does this mean for a Venom game? No comments by Insomniac Games has been made about this, either if the game has been canceled or is still in development. To me, this makes me lean towards that a very real possibility that this is still happening. Otherwise, the same people that confirmed the cancellation of Spider-Man the Great Web would have also confirmed the same fate for Venom. This hasn't been done yet, which strongly makes me think that there is still some hope to have and that we can remain optimistic. Again, the Venom standalone game is expected to release in 2025, so if there is going to be a reveal or announcement trailer at some point, I would expect it to be coming soon. I don't think Marvel or Insomniac would wait too long, but who knows? With Venom the Last Dance coming in theaters in October, we could see the announcement made in time with the movie's release. I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, if you want to know more about a confirmed video game still on the books for Insomniac Games, then check out this video here with the latest information on Marvel's Wolverine.